Morning, hope everyone's well. Just getting ready for an A2 test day. I've got a couple of guys coming down to ride a KTM 390 Adventure, 310GS, and the CRF300 Rally. Hot outside, just thought I'd do a quick video, an update on the 300 Rally, as I've not really said much about it recently. I've had it nearly a year. It's been ridden by a fair few people now. Mainly road. The days I do aren't really off-road days. They give a taster of how the bikes are going to perform off-road, but they're mainly sort of B-road, back road stuff with a bit of green lane for good measure. The bike's now done 3,000 miles. 3,022. I bought it second hand with, I think, 600 miles on. Like the CRF300 Rally I had before, bought from someone who bought the bike thinking it was going to be the perfect sort of back road day out bike, and found it too tall and too trail bikey for their sort of gentle pootle around the road. So they sold it at low miles, and that's how I got hold of this one. It's lasting well. It's standing up to multiple riders riding it. Tyre wear is, they're getting very close to the edge, the limit of the stock IRC tyres. I've got a set of TKC 80s to go on it soon. Personally, I've not got an issue with those IRC tyres. They do a reasonable job of all conditions, and they ride well on the road. I had some MT21s on the 250 Rally, and I've got to say I preferred the IRCs. Off-road, yeah, they might move around a little bit, but not hugely detrimental. So I personally don't mind the IRCs. The TKC 80s should ride well on the road as well. Probably give a little bit more traction off road, but it depends what you're going to do with it really. Most of my riding's on the road with these, so they don't need an aggressive knobbly. All I've done to it, got a Rally Raid rear rack on it, which is quite nice, little tidy design. Sort of not a big huge rack, just quite a discreet one with strapping points to it. So you put a bit of a tail pack on that, and then some Rally Raid's side engine protection, side frame protectors, just to stop it rubbing people's boots, rubbing that off. I did go up and see John at Rally Raid and rode their 300L with their full suspension kit on it, and yeah, it does transform the bike, because the real complaint about this 300 is that suspension, and it does seem a slight bit of a cheat from Honda that they've given this impression of a big tall Dakar bike and then made it usable by putting on the softest rear shock ever, which is really difficult to adjust. So it's kind of it's a bit cheeky by Honda, I think, to make it so that really you have to go out and buy a new shock to make it the usable bike that it should have been to begin with. So the Rally Raid kit transformed it. It rode really well on the road, and it rode really well on the trails, and you could be more aggressive with it. So there's lots of options out there. K-Tech and I can't remember the other ones, YSS. There's lots of people on the forums putting aftermarket shocks on, and I think it's a must really, because the sag on it is huge. Even when you just lift it off the stand, the compression on the rear is quite significant. Crash protection, I was trying to get some crash protection, but everything seems to be out of stock and difficult to get hold of. The bike has been dropped once on the road. I'd only had it a few weeks, and somebody just caught a cattle grid wrong, and the back end stepped out, and the bike went spiraling down the road, and I could have wept really, because it was a pristine bike. And thankfully, actually the bar ends fell off on this. Just a scuff on the bar end, and then just a little bit of a scuff there. So that's all it happened. That was on the road as well. So yeah, I need to get some bark busters on it. I got some universal fitting Cherbis handguards, which don't seem to fit very well at all. So yeah. So that's it. An update. I've got to say the 300 Rally is finding far more favour with riders of it than the 250 Rally before it. Not many people really warmed to the 250 Rally. Part of that was probably because it got a lowering link on the back, which made the front really light. But also just the fact that you had to really rev the engine out, and it just seemed like, yes, it's good on the trails, but everywhere else it wasn't. And I think by upping it to 300, even though it's only, not a huge 26cc extra or something like that, it's transformed the way the engine performs. Now you've got mid-range, you've got roll-on power, you've got usable power. You don't have to go hunting for the power at the top of the rev range. And so it's made the bike far more relaxed, more mature, easier to ride. and just more likable. And I think been borne out in the comments at the end of the days when people have come back and there's far more people favouring this over the other bikes than they did with the 250 Rally. So it's a shame that the supply issue is caused havoc with people wanting 300s, because otherwise it would have been even more popular than it already is. I know most people go for the L, which is a sensible choice if you're trail riding. But I really do like this Rally. Actually, it's a shame you have to upgrade that suspension straight out the crate, really. But the rest of it, it's a really nice bike. You could see how people are travelling, like Itchy Boots is travelling on it, because it is a lot lighter than, say, a Himalayan, and a lot more ground clearance. Yeah, it's just a lighter bike. So that's it. A year in, 3,000 miles down. I'll probably do an oil change on it soon, get those tyres on. And then she's good to go again. I wouldn't mind getting some handguards on and some crash bars just to prevent any crash protection, any crash damage. Other than that, it's just little nicks on the stickers where it's been caught on bushes and things like that. So that's it. 300 Rally. Should you get one of these or a 690 KTM, well, this is a far more serviceable, easier to manage, and totally capable machine. So for me, for trail riding, this would be my choice. The question over this or a Himalayan, still two different bikes. I do have an extended video to put up about that comparison where I rode together with another guy, and we both agreed that simply, if you're doing more trail work, the CRF makes more sense. If you're doing more road work, the Himalayan makes more sense. But both are equally capable, pretty much of the same thing. Just one is better on the road and one is better on the trail. But looking at the two bikes, that is perfectly makes sense. Perfectly makes sense. So that's it. Gonna head out. Got great weather down here. Gonna hit the road. If you want to come down and ride the 300 Rally against KTM, against the 310 GS, against the Himalayan, give me a shout. DorothySpeedShop.com. All right, take it easy. Cheers, bye.